Welcome to the Our Team Podcast, powered by eXp Realty. Are you an agent looking to level up? Are you someone looking to buy or sell real estate? Fantastic. This is the show for you.
Welcome to the Our Team Podcast. Guys, I'm excited for this show because we have a very special guest. I shouldn't call you a guest. Get a little closer to your mic there, Randy. Don't be afraid of that thing.
I watch musicians and stuff, and they swallow this thing, and I'm just like, why do you got to do that?
No,
I
I
guess
know.
you have to in order to get a point across.
Yeah, these have built-in pop screens, so you don't have to worry about noise and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
Plus,
Pretty fancy. Nice studio you got going on here.
It's not bad, right? I mean, we got multi-camera shoot going on. We have good mics. We have unlimited supply of coffee.
Absolutely. That's a necessity these days.
For sure.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry I called you a guest. You're not a guest.
It's all good.
You're not a guest.
Call me whatever you want. I'm good.
Randy's a good friend. Randy is a team member. He is part of the Our Team.
Yes, I am.
And that's kind of why I have you here today.
Okay.
I wanted to just introduce you to, you're not new to EXP. You've been at EXP for quite a while.
2 years. You brought me here.
Yeah, I did?
Yes, you did. Believe it or not. I may have called you and said, hey, where'd you go?
I'm not responsible for this, you guys. Don't listen.
We're at another brokerage, and they shut down because of all the nonsense. And I said, well, Brian, what are you doing? Where are you? What? Tell me what's up.
Yeah, I was so excited when you reached out because we had already started doing some really amazing things at EXP, and we had come from Coldwell Banker, and I loved Coldwell Banker.
Yeah.
I was one of those guys that was bleeding blue, and I told everyone about how much I loved the support and the tools that Coldwell Banker offered.
Yep.
But when they went off the deep end, on some of the shutdown stuff,
oh boy,
I was just like, wait, you want us to do? Wait, what?
I know.
We're essential, and you're anyway. So that whole thing
we're working
kind of
from our houses, and we're still getting that brokerage check coming out of our accounts every month. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not even talking to anybody at the office anymore.
I know,
it was interesting, but hey, it's all good now.
It is.
It's awesome right now.
It's been such an incredible ride to be where we're at now and to grow the team and to meet so many amazing people. You are definitely included in that. And that's kind of what I wanted to chat with a little bit today.
Sure.
First, I wanted you to two things I want to accomplish here. One, I want you to not be afraid of doing these kind of things because you're not really into this.
I'm not.
Right. So for you guys that are watching and for you guys that are listening, Randy may look by his guns right there. He may look like he can kick your butt, but he's kind of a softie, and he's a little bit afraid of things like this.
You know me pretty well.
Yes, I do.
Yep.
So I don't want you to be afraid of this. This is so what we need to do. We talked yesterday. I did a podcast yesterday with Steph Winter.
Okay.
And it was all about controlling the narrative and how some of our favorite people are out there, and they're just talking about how the market's crashed, and they are clueless.
Oh my gosh!
Right? We know the market hasn't crashed. We're sitting at 7% rates right now, and we still have lines out the door on our properties. It's
multiple
crazy.
offers happening and all that stuff.
So it's up to us to control the narrative, right?
Absolutely.
And one of the things I told her was, if you're an agent and you're watching this, then that means you have to narrate. If you're going to control the narrative, you got to narrate. You have to be the one talking. So we spoke at length about how we need to get over ourselves and just sort of like get used to recording ourselves, putting the message out there on Facebook, on Instagram, Google, or excuse me, not Google, but YouTube Shorts, and even TikTok, whatever the thing is. Just get that consistent message out there about what the market's really doing. Yeah. Because the media is lying.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's a lot of things.
Many ways.
There's a lot of things the media lies about, right? So if you're a pro, you got to get the message out. And what's the best way to get the message out is to use your phone and use these different platforms. And if you're afraid to do that, then this is a good way to sort of break the ice a little bit, right? Because we're just doing a podcast. It's just you and I consider you a very good friend. So we're just chit-chatting and doing our thing. Yeah. There's no acting here. It's just
no, I can't find my script anywhere. So.
You lost your script.
I asked you before we started, hey, what are you going to ask me? And you're like, hey,
we don't do.
Sometimes just roll with it.
Sometimes we'll do lists of stuff. A couple days ago, we did 7 things to do to prepare your home for the spring market.
Oh, gotcha.
That was a list, right? So I wrote those down so I could stay organized.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we wing it here and we just speak from the heart about various topics. So. That's the first thing. I want to demystify this so you can get more used to doing these things. The second thing is I want to introduce you to our audience is growing fast. And,
see that.
And people are getting to know the different personalities on the team, and they haven't met you yet. They've met your son.
Right. Luke's tearing it up in the old podcast world. He's a natural at this kind of stuff, though. You know, it's
he loves it.
Yeah.
And it's funny when he'll lean in and he'll turn his head a certain way, and when he's recording, he's got this sort of like a, well, Brian, let me tell you, I'm gonna,
yeah.
And you can tell he elevates.
He's been dramatic his entire life, even
Yeah.
when he was a kid, and then obviously in high school he was a lead character in some of the plays that they did.
So cool.
It's awesome to see him in this business now.
Yeah, so that's great for him because he's not afraid. He embraces doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We just bought a new lapel mic, and I put it on Luke, and I said, hey, let's test this thing. And he's like, he puts it on. And I was just expecting him to go check 1 2, but he's like, okay, we're checking the microphone. Right now, I'm using my normal voice. Now I'm using a higher voice.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm looking down at the mic now. Oh, I'm looking up at the mic. And I'm just like, Luke, you're out of control, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's him. You switch. The switch comes on when the camera's on with him. It's so
Yeah.
it's awesome.
He's
really awesome.
He's good. He's an incredible addition to the team.
Yeah.
He's starting to really get some traction on a lot of the Facebook marketing and stuff like that he's doing. He's doing exactly what we teach. He's picking up the phone. He's making the calls. He made 12 phone calls here yesterday. Your son sat here and made 12 phone calls. And I mean, he's doing the thing. Those were all the new leads that he got. So he's calling, following up.
Yeah, he's even telling me what to do now. He's
That's
like,
good.
Dad, did you call your leads today? I'm like, oh man, no, I didn't. I gotta go. I gotta do that thing. I gotta do something else.
That accountability from the kids, it turns on you.
I know.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
awesome.
Yeah,
so,
it's really cool.
So you were you kind of had your own team for a while before you came over to the Our Team. You had what did you consider? Was it like the Cameron team?
Well, not necessarily. Oh, kind of, sort of. So I had a little bit of a stint there in the when the market took a turn in 2008, and was doing really well, and actually left the business for a little bit of time. Not completely. Still did part time work for the sheriff's department for a little while, and had a good time there. But during my time there, I realized that I had so much more to offer.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're spending 12 hours on these shifts dealing with knuckleheads all the time. And so I decided to retire from that and opened our own office up. My mom's also in the business. She's a broker. Yeah. And so we opened our own office, and man, it was not for me. I mean, I'm a team member, absolutely, but I couldn't kind of get the role going with inspiring the team and all that. So had a few agents came over, and we did a little bit, but it was a complete disaster.
Well,
maybe not a disaster. It was a very good. I'll tell you what. Every experience I've had, I've contributed to a learning experience.
Yeah, that's good.
So life's been a roller coaster the entire time. Did very well in the early 2000s in this, and I've had my license since I say I've had my license since the 90s. It was actually December of 1999 I got my real estate license. So it's really I've been in it a long time, seen a lot of things. But the team aspect of things really, I can say, drew me. I like that. But as far as being the team actual leader, it wasn't for me. Yeah, it wasn't for me. I can mentor people and help them and give them my experience and point them in the right directions. But as far as being a motivator in that aspect, I'm more of I'm not a solo, so that's why I joined your team. Yeah. I don't like being on my own. I like the aspect of having everybody around you to pick you up. And this team is amazing for that.
Definitely good culture here.
Yeah. So I mean, back to your original question though, I did have a little bit of a team. I've always had kind of an assistant with me in that aspect. Yeah. But this is just a different level. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we love having you here. It's important. I want to call attention to something that you just said. You've had kind of a bit of a roller coaster, and through it all, you've learned, you've purposed in your mind and in your heart to learn something from it, right? Which means you have a teachable spirit. And that's why you're going to be successful, and you're always going to be successful, because you're willing to say, oh, yeah, I've been doing this for so many years, since the 90s, but I still have things to learn.
Oh, my gosh.
And you embrace those. And so if you have a teachable spirit about you, and not one of those, you can't teach me anything, I already know this.
Oh, my, yeah.
Then you're ready, willing, and able to embrace the new stuff and grow in different areas. I've been doing this a long time. Yeah. and I'm a part of multiple masterminds. And you know how our all of our senior partners, even here at EXP, they're so good at what they do.
Oh, yeah. Hundreds of transactions a year.
It's crazy, right?
I can't even fathom that.
I know. Well, just I mean, just right around in our just little ecosystem. I mean, we're doing over $1 billion a year in volume. Over $1 billion. It's like 750.
But I thought the market was not so good right now.
I know, right? But Sean Hannity said that the market is crashing, and
you get a lot of gloom and doom out there, and it's what you focus on.
Yeah,
is
even my favorite talk show people, it's no secret that I am a conservative.
Yeah.
And so I listen to a lot of conservative talk radio.
Yeah.
Sean Hannity, my boy, on and on and on about how the market's crashed and all this stuff. I'm just like, dude, you're just stick to your political nonsense. Don't get into my world. Now you're crossing over into my world where you're speaking falseness.
Well,
there.
the problem is then you get a buyer that you're working with, or even a seller at that point, and they're asking you, well, do I need to sell right now, or why should I buy right now, or maybe I should wait? Maybe I should wait for it to change. And I'm like, I've had people that I've been talking to for months that were waiting for the market to change, and it didn't happen.
They just keep
there
missing
might have been
opportunity.
a blip of a couple of months in there where you were getting sellers that were offering closing costs and those sorts of things, but it's gone.
Yeah. It is.
I mean, you may find something but so they hear this from the talking heads out there, and they say that, and it's just it's not true.
Yeah, my fear is because it hasn't slowed down hardly at all. It had a 30-day, a 3-month, like a 90-day slowdown where people were like, "Oh crap, these rates were so high, forget it, I'm out of it. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just rent." And but now the dust is settled. Rates are what they are, and now those people that missed out are still needing a home, and they're still back in the game.
Yeah.
And so what's happening is we're getting multiple offers, even with people that have financing at 7%. And the Fed's probably going to have to keep raising the rates to stable. I mean, you know why this is happening. I mean, they're trying to slow the economy down.
Right.
So I made a prediction about, I don't know, maybe 30 days ago, where I said we're going to see rates hit 5% this year.
Oh, yeah.
I need to retreat. I think I'm going to retreat. I think I might, I didn't promise. It was a prediction. I think I'm going to really, eat my shorts on that one. But we'll see. Look, the bottom line is you can refinance, right?
That's absolutely
Get the house
true.
and
And
refinance.
historically, you just got to look at what it is that people say there's a cycle, and there is a cycle. I can't quite figure out that cycle yet.
It's hard.
But it's happened. It
hard.
happens. It's just historically that's what goes on.
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know? And
So let's talk a little bit. We don't have to prolong this too long. I know you're
yeah,
already.
cool. I got to be somewhere.
Do you really? Well, you need to cancel that right now.
Exactly.
How have things in the last month or so that you've been on the team?
Yeah.
How do you feel? Let's talk about.
Oh, I feel great. You know what? I went through a time there not too long ago, and we had some heart to hearts in your office with Lori Ann, and I appreciate you guys so much for all the input you put in.
Yeah.
I've got lots of input from a lot of my friends and church family and everybody. It's just I went through a really tough time, and I was contemplating on, hey, maybe I need to go back to work somewhere.
Yeah.
But ultimately, all the input from everybody has led me to no. This is your passion. This is what you are set up for today. I thought to myself, you've been in this thing 24 years. Why would you want to leave the market and go do something by the hour and deal with knuckleheads or whatever?
Yeah.
But since I've been exposed to what you guys have to offer here, and you and Lori, it's just so much love.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are just like always. You're invested in every member of this team. We got a young team here. You know what I mean?
Half the team's been in less than 2 years.
It's amazing, but they're killing it.
They're doing well.
They are crushing it with their techniques that they've learned from you and just everything they're doing. So, but as far as how I feel a complete welcome here. I come in and you guys are just it's all the input. I can call you anytime, ask you something.
Yep.
And it's really I just can't say enough.
Yeah, well,
honestly.
cool. We feel the exact same way.
Very, very cool.
We don't just let anyone on the team. I mean,
I know that.
culture is very important to me.
Yeah.
Do you know we have people reach out to us almost every single week that want to join our team.
Yeah.
And I interview them. I talk to them. I just kind of, as a gatekeeper, I'm very protective. it is amazing how many people I just know would be a culture killer. So for me, I just know it's not a right fit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Well, we got to
you know,
keep that.
we do.
You know, and you know that
Yeah.
because that can really turn things.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
so.
Is there anything else you want to say? I mean, this is kind of it. That's all I really wanted to do
cool.
is let people know that you're out here. And how can people get a hold of you? There might be some buyers or sellers that are watching this right now, and they're thinking, you know what? I like that Randy. He's been doing this for 24 years.
Oh, well, you know what? You Google my name and my phone number comes up, which is cool because I've learned that too over the years, how important it is to kind of keep your social media and everything, you know, in tune with that. You just Google my name, Randy Cameron, you'll find me.
Randy Cameron,
Yeah.
you're the one that picks up. Randy Cameron EXP,
That's
boom,
right.
you're right there.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you, I would say, you probably, because of your experience, you offer some unique selling perspectives and unique selling opportunities for buyers and sellers because of your experience. What do you think is maybe one thing that causes you or allows you to stand out from maybe the average agent? How can you do a better job for a seller, for example?
Well, I think really my commitment to them and making sure I get them where they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll sit down with a seller or a buyer and just figure out what their target is.
Yeah.
And I'm committed to them.
Yeah.
I'm not just doing this for deals.
Yeah.
You know, I do a certain amount of transactions a year, which is the interesting thing. And I've been in all the coaching programs.
Yeah.
I've been in Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, Matthew Ferry, all those over the years, and paid thousands and thousands of dollars for that. And really never accomplished what they kind of wanted me to do.
Yeah.
But I did learn a lot. And so I take from that what I can pass on to my clients.
Yeah.
And that's just... and I don't have a problem expressing that too. I know some new agents or agents may just say something to make the transaction go through. That's not what I'm about.
Yeah.
I'm about accomplishing their goals.
Yeah.
So I just think from experience and seeing hundreds of transactions go through, the different situations that can come up from each one.
Yeah.
And I've been able to avoid them or prep them for, hey, this is what's going to happen.
I think you're probably at a place in your career where it's going to be very rare for you to say, oh, I didn't see this coming. I had no idea this would be the result if I did that.
Yeah.
You've had so many transactions. You've been in this for so many years that you're going to be a wealth of information. So do you enjoy working with new buyers?
Yeah,
First-time
it's
buyers?
a challenge though.
It is.
Because you've got it.
They're still my favorite.
You know
by
what?
far.
I know, and you get this look like I'm talking to you. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's hard, but you know what you got to go through with that. I just know. Okay, I'm going to be showing them a lot of houses.
Yeah.
And then once we get into the contract, it's going to be a whole other story. But
Right.
it's fun. It's fun. That's
It is.
how I started out working with new buyers back in the day. And
You want to hear why we're working with a lot of new buyers right now?
why?
It's because we're so old. I'm not even kidding. So all of our clients that we've sold houses to 20 years ago,
Yeah, I have kids.
their kids are buying houses now.
Right, yeah.
And it's just like, oh my gosh.
I know.
We're working with all these new buyers and every single, because you know how our team works. We don't take, we spend a ton of money in advertising and that goes out. Those are distributed to the team. The team does those.
Yeah.
We're doing less and less production, but we still have our own clients that are just like, can you please help my daughter get a house?
Yeah.
And the temptation is to say, well, I have someone on my team that is amazing. And we've done that. We've been able to do that. But in some cases, it's like, but this is fifth generation.
Right.
I really want you to. Okay, we'll do. So
And that is so exciting
it
and
is.
rewarding too.
It is. I can't even. I mean, Lorianne, she is a rock star at this, and she still will get teary-eyed and get all upset because it's messing up her makeup, and she's giving keys over to these kids, and she's just and on some of those deals, the commission checks are so small, and it doesn't matter.
No.
She just is so happy to help these guys get their first home in a new build somewhere or something.
Yeah.
She's so I think you're the same way. It's just like, you enjoy doing that because you've been in it so long and you just learn all the different subtle nuances of being in this business. It's more than just selling a house.
I think the one thing that you have to keep in mind in being in this business so long is that you do have to step back, especially with the new buyers, and really explain, or the sellers even. I've got a young couple right now we're working with there, and they're this is the first time they've sold something, and it's like you really have to look at from their perspective. You can't just throw all this stuff out there and say TDS and SBQ and all these different things and
jargon,
and escrow
realtor jargon
for that matter.
Yeah.
And I find myself having do you know what escrow is?
Yeah.
And things of that nature.
Yep.
And so you gotta just look from their perspective. So.
And a brand new seller can be a little bit grumpy when they find out that really they're responsible for a lot of the fees.
Oh man.
Because when they bought the house, the seller covered everything, and now they're a seller having to cover everything.
Yeah.
So
That's funny you mentioned that because I was a listing appointment yesterday with a longtime friend of mine, and I went through everything, and I said, "Oh, by the way, you're in an HOA here. I just want to show you here on this net sheet. You're going to have to pay this HOA fee, and it could be in advance. Some of them aren't. Some of them will bill, but 99% of them want it in advance.
And some of them are expensive.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I said it's the mafia.
It
you
is.
know what I mean?
It is.
So pointing things like that out instead of pointing it out during the transaction.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. A 20-second offensive conversation can save a 20-minute defensive conversation.
Oh my gosh!
Right? So you got to know things up front.
And a 20-minute defensive conversation that you might have to throw that money in to just kind of make it work.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. I'll pay it for you.
I got it.
We do that so much as realtors,
I know.
I
don't do it as much, but we do when we have to.
I'm willing. I mean,
absolutely.
I've given up my entire commission to save a deal because it was that important to me.
Yeah.
And sometimes it comes back, in tenfold, and sometimes it does not. But it doesn't matter. I mean,
doing the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Just doing the right thing.
Well, Randy, thank you,
brother.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Our Team podcast.
All right.
It was painless.
Virtually.
Virtually painless.
No,
I mean, I'm sure I'm going to edit out all of the bad parts.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
So it might end up just being a podcast with me. Oh. Okay. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
I know.
All right.
Brother.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for listening. If you want to get a hold of Randy, he's super easy to get a hold of. Link in the description. Plus, just Google Randy Cameron.
There you go. You'll find me.
We will catch you on the next one.
Hey, wait, before you go, would you do us a favor? If you found any value in this content, would you please like and subscribe to it? Maybe even leave a comment? It really helps us out.